All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Grab a cup of coffee. I got iced coffee here. We're going to look at my new plan with the market rallying. A couple videos back, I mentioned how it's really hard to sell covered calls when stocks tank so dramatically. I said the reason it's hard is because when they drop dramatically, they can come right back up as dramatically, like we're seeing today. And because of this, a lot of the covered calls that I sold are getting close to being in the money or already in the money. We can see right here, I sold a covered call on Robinhood. It was a $40 strike expiring in 2 days. There was a really high percentage that this was just going to expire worthless. Well, would you look at that? I think Robinhood's at 42 something today. Yeah, 42.50. And this went up 1,400%. So if someone bought a call at like 18 bucks and turned it into 303 and did that with multiple contracts, that would be nuts. So this one's in the money because, as we know with covered calls, the strike price is below the current price of Robinhood. So the buyer of this call that I sold it to can say, hey, let me buy 100 shares of Robinhood from you for $40 a piece. And for me taking on that risk, I did make a little bit of money, but not $303 worth. I made $41. So what do I do in this situation? Well, one, I'm going to get a little closer to Friday before I start to roll my position. So I'm going to see what the market ends up doing tomorrow. Are we going to maintain this, or are we going to go back down, or maybe even up higher? And then depending on what I see, I'm going to hit this magical button right here to roll my covered call. And I'm going to go out an expiration, maybe May 9th, for example. And perhaps I'm going to just roll it to either this $44 strike or this $45 strike. If I choose this 44, there's a 72% chance this will expire worthless because things in 30 days could go back down. And I'd also make $67 extra in premium from rolling this out. So it's not all that bad. It's not all doom and gloom. We're just going to have to give my positions more time that I've already opened. And just like before, when I was not panicking when stocks were tanking and maybe some of my puts were in the money and I rolled them out, this is kind of like the opposite. I'm not panicking now just because my covered calls are all of a sudden in the money. Now, luckily for me, I didn't sell all of the call options that I could have, especially on one of our favorites on the channel, SoFi. I did sell a lot of covered calls on SoFi, locking up a lot of my shares. So we have 4,700 shares total, and I have 3,100 locked up. A couple of these covered calls actually sold today when the prices went up dramatically. But the good news is, if I really wanted to max out all of these shares into covered calls, I have another 1,600 I can sell covered calls on if I really wanted to. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to wait for now, maybe sell one or two, I guess. But I don't foresee myself selling covered calls on every share that I have on SoFi. And if you got to this point and you want to help out the channel and you want some more information on selling options and how you can do this for yourself, I have a whole course for beginners. It goes over everything I've learned along the way. And yes, it says how I make $2,000 a month. This is actually low because lately, this is also linked down in the description, by the way. Lately, so far this month, I've made $2,300 in premium. So I kind of like this volatility. I'm not going to lie. Volatility is great for premiums on selling options because the more volatility we see, the juicier the premiums become. You can see here I sold four call options today. These two Robinhood ones were before obviously Robinhood went up because I wouldn't have sold them at such low strike prices. And then the SPY, I'm just rolling that because I'm pretty far in the money right now. But once again, not worrying, just going to roll it. And then eventually, if the stock dips again, maybe it'll be in my favor and we can recover and close that position. $185 today from these four trades, so pretty sweet. And as you guys know, I just take this premium I get and I buy more shares of my favorite stocks like SoFi. That's how I've accumulated a lot of these stocks, is just taking that premium and reinvesting it into the company and getting more shares. And right now might look great, but all it takes is one more tweet or maybe a little bit of a backstep from the pausing of those tariffs to put us back to where we were originally. I still have no idea what the future brings, but all I can do is just react as it happens. And that's really all you can do as well as an option seller, and just try to make some income while you react. Anyways, I'm super grateful for you guys. Thank you for tuning in and listening to me talk and show you some of the trades that I made today and listen to my plan. It was probably not a big surprise. I said I'm just going to roll my options because that's what I do any other time something like this occurs. If you want to go check out the course, help the channel, really appreciate it. It's down below. And I hope to see you in a future video.